Tracking several fires burning as we speak. Wanted to take a look at this CAL FIRE map. You can see almost a dozen fires burning up and down the state, and the hot, dry, and windy conditions are not helping.
Right now in Calaveras County, the Arrow Fire is burning just north of the town of Copperopolis. Take a look at your screen. Evacuations have been ordered in zones around Highway 4 from the Calaveras County line to New Melones Lake. The zones marked in red mean an evacuation has been ordered. If you or a loved one lives in this area, please leave now. This is a mandatory and lawful order to leave, so take this seriously. Now, the zones in yellow are under an evacuation warning, so those in that area who need a little more time to evacuate should leave now.
Meanwhile, ABC 10's Luke Clary is live in Calaveras County right now.
And Luke, you are tracking that Arrow Fire. At last check, this has burned more than 5,000 acres. What are conditions there right now?
Hey Laura, Chris, I'm standing at the Copperopolis town square and you can see the Arrow Fire burning in the hills all around us. We still have 0% containment and you can feel the winds. We've had sustained winds of 15 miles per hour, gusts of up to 30 miles per hour throughout the day, and that has really been driving the explosive growth of this fire. If you take a look here behind me, there's still some fire out there in the distance. That fire's kind of slowly making its way down that hill. You may not be able to make out the crews out there, but we know that there are crews there attacking that fire right now and up and down. This is Highway 4. There are crews stationed along that Highway 4 trying to prevent the fire from jumping over it and making its way closer into Copperopolis. And so I'm standing here with Emily Kilgore with CAL FIRE. And Emily, we've been talking about this fire and the way that it just that it had such an explosive growth throughout the day because of that wind. As we get into the nighttime hours though, how do conditions change? How does that change the firefight?
Well, sometimes the relative humidity will increase and winds will start to die down, and that's kind of what we're hoping to see happen this evening, because then firefighters can get the upper hand and continue to make direct fire line attack. And
does the nighttime firefight, as we get into the cooler part of the evening, does that provide any advantages to your firefighters?
If the relative humidity increases and the winds die down, then there will be an advantage.
So at this stage, though, with the fire burning a little lower and potentially slower, okay, it looks like we have somebody approaching us right now, so we're going to go ahead and send it back to you. But it appears that we're still nowhere near out of the clear here in this Arrow Fire, still burning near Copperopolis. We'll go ahead and send it back to you. Reporting live in Copperopolis, Luke Clary, ABC 10.
As we see, Luke, this is a developing situation. Everyone, please be safe out there, and please heed those warnings and those evacuation orders. We'll check back again. Luke, thank you.
The Red Cross wants you to take a look at this, and Calaveras County deputies have set up different evacuation centers. Now, keep in mind, the main one is the Valley Springs Veterans Hall on Pine Street in Valley Springs. Domestic animals like dogs and cats can be taken to the Veterans Hall as well. Livestock can be taken to the county fairgrounds on 101 Frogtown in Angels Camp. Now, you can scan the QR code that we'll put on our screen throughout the newscast for the latest information on resources. And if you don't see that QR code on the screen, we'll also have more information on our website, abc10.com.
And as we see, things have been certainly moving fast today. Let's get over to meteorologist Brendan Minchef now. The winds are really a problem when it comes to battling these fires.
Yeah, that's right. And you just have to take a look at radar through parts of the evening to see why. So we're going to let it reset here. Look at these smoke plumes with these fires from the Sites Fire, the Douglas Fire in Sacramento County, and the Arrow Fire. You saw just how extensive those plumes were, indicating, one, how explosive the fire growth was, and two, how strong that wind was and pushing that smoke down through the valley. So relative humidity, something we've been talking about all evening long. It has not rebounded whatsoever. We're only in the 20 to roughly 30% range in the valley. Normally we would see these numbers upwards of 40, maybe even 50% by this time because of the Delta breeze. So we've not seen that rebound. There is no Delta breeze. Winds remain out of the north across much of the valley, although wind speeds have come down quite significantly from where they were earlier in the day, but we're still going to have some north winds gusting up to about 15 to 20 miles per hour at times through the overnight. North winds continue through the first half of the day tomorrow as well. And what that means is we are going to have some smoke in the valley through the overnight hours, so make sure those windows are closed, and that smoke is going to stay with us through the morning commute tomorrow as well. So even if you don't smell it tonight, you get up and go to work early tomorrow, you'll probably smell some of that smoke from the fires in Northern California. I'll have a fuller forecast breakdown later in the show.
Yeah, Brendan, crews working hard tonight. Thank you. In Colusa County, the Sites Fire has burned more than 4,400 acres. It started this afternoon around 1:30 near Sites Ladoga Road and Stone Corral Avenue. It is 0% contained at this hour. Officials tell us the fire is being influenced by northerly winds. Areas to the south of the fire could be impacted by drifting smoke.
New tonight, a person is now in custody accused of starting the Douglas fire in Sacramento County. Just look at this. Investigators say it started at a homeless camp near Mather Airport. The fire burned more than 585 acres. The good news, though, it is now contained. ABC 10's Brandon Ritteman was there on scene all afternoon.
He has a look at the impact winds are having on the ground, causing fires to move quickly.
Day like this, some warmth, little gusty wind. It's all it takes for fire to move really fast, faster than firefighters can keep up with it because of these dry, flashy fuels. You've got the grass all dry and dead. It burns like very thin paper. It'll move as fast as the wind is moving. And so right now what we have are crews mopping it up. After a successful effort to really steer this fire from the flanks, they were able to pinch the head of the fire into a corner right where I'm standing at Kiefer and Sunrise, and up against this drainage ditch where the bridge is. That's where they were able to stop the head of the fire from crossing either of these major roads, which is great news because that means they're not going to have to chase it anymore. Fire, again, moving incredibly fast on a day like this through these flashy fuels. When we get a lot of moisture like we did over the winter, this is what tends to happen. We have up in the forest, the trees get a really good drink. They don't burn as easily, but in the early part of the season, what we have is a big grass crop that grew up and then died in that 102-degree heat that we were having a week or two ago. And really, this is the aftermath of that. Fortunately, this fire really stayed away from structures. It's been just a chase and mop-up effort, but because they were able to pinch the head of the fire off at this major intersection, they're not having to run after it all night. They're able to just try to get these hot spots tamped down and then be ready for the next one.
Also happening in Sacramento County, a grass fire near the Sacramento rail yards threatened Old Sacramento today. Take a look. It blew a lot of smoke into downtown and across I-5 during the evening commute. The fire is now under control with no injuries or damage to structures. The cause of that fire under investigation. But listen to this. Sac Fire says they had 6 grass fires in the city today alone. And so as we continue to track these fires and the fire danger all across the area, be sure to download the free ABC 10 app. You can get the latest updates in your neighborhood.